Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel, and I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And this is the continuation of the Mesillas Yesharim, which is called The Way of the Upright, or The Path of the Just by the Ramchal of Moshe Chaim. And this is from the Yafa edition from Art Scroll. And this is what the Sefer looks like if you've never seen it. And I will have a link below to Art Scroll so you can check out all that they offer. Still continuing in chapter 19. This is part number 77. And last time I was on the section called the love of Hashem, which was also within the category of, just trying to find that, category was called, you go back many pages to find it, Chassidus and manners of carrying out deeds. I believe that's what the main heading was. So I decided to cut that section into two because it was a little bit longer. And beginning, we started with that it has three different subsections: joy in serving Hashem, also dveikus, which is cleaving, and then zealousness. So and that will be coming up, those areas as well, in the next upcoming videos, BeEzrat Hashem. So continuing on here, he says, how does one ensure that his love of Hashem remains steadfast in the face of life's challenges? However, in order that the troubles and distresses that one experiences not become a difficulty and impediment to the love of Hashem, a person must reason to himself with two responses. One of these is equally compelling for all people, while the second is effective for people of wisdom who possess profound knowledge. So the first argument applies to everyone. So what it says is, the first line of reasoning is that everything that is done to a person by decree from heaven is for his ultimate good. And then it says, see Brachos 60b. So that's very important to remember. I'm saying that. This means that even that trouble and distress that appears to him to be bad are in reality nothing but true good. This is analogous to the surgeon who cuts off flesh or amputates a limb that has been damaged, so that the rest of the body will be healthy and the patient will not die. For although the action of cutting away flesh or amputating a limb seems cruel at first glance, it is in reality nothing but an expression of compassion designed to ultimately benefit the patient, and the patient will not abandon his love of the doctor on account of this deed. Rather, to the contrary, he will love him even more for removing the diseased part. So should it be with this matter. When a person contemplates and internalizes that everything that the Holy One, blessed is He, does to him, He does for his benefit, whether it be a matter that concerns his body or whether it is a matter that concerns his money. And that although he does not perceive and does not understand how this particular matter is for his benefit, it is surely for his benefit. Then his love for Hashem will not be weakened because of any distress or any trouble. Rather, to the contrary, it will intensify and increase within him continuously. So here, just to summarize, what I'm saying is, so everything's for the good no matter what, even if it doesn't seem like it, because it seems like it's something maybe cruel and harsh initially, but it's in the end, if you look at the big picture, as you say, it's all for the good. Okay, and now he continues, the first argument is completely true, but there are certain lofty individuals for whom it is superfluous and to whom another line of reasoning is more appropriate. So what he says here is, however, people who possess true knowledge do not need even this aforementioned line of reasoning, for they do not have it within themselves to be selfishly motivated in the least. And the commentary says, a person who requires the first argument to maintain his love of Hashem is still somewhat preoccupied with his own benefit. He is similar to the one mentioned above who loves Hashem because of the good he showers upon him, i.e. the approach that Ramchal rejected above. Okay, and I'm not going to repeat that. You'd have to go to the last video to check that. Now he continues in the commentary. The difference between them is merely that the one mentioned above has a narrow definition of good that corresponds to what his limited human intellect perceives as good. As such, his love of Hashem is tenuous, and when something happens that does not fit his definition of good, he may abandon his love of Hashem. The individual discussed here realizes that everything Hashem does is good, and therefore his love for him is secure. In the final analysis, however, even this individual loves Hashem because he is good to him. A person of, quote, true knowledge is above this entire line of reasoning. So he's saying basically, one does it with his limited intellect, and if something is not good, doesn't fit his definition, then he can't that love, he's abandoned. And then the other, that he still loves Hashem for something because he's good to him. So really, someone who has the true, like we say, chachma, or true knowledge, doesn't even accepts none of that. Okay, so that's just my kind of giving you the synopsis of what that says. Okay, now he continues. Rather, so that what they're saying is, so just to go back, so I go back to where we were. So he's saying that people who possess true knowledge is daya, they do not have with themselves to be selfishly motivated in the least. Rather, their entire prayer, meaning their fervent wish, is to increase the honor of Hashem, blessed be He, and to bring Him satisfaction. And as much as the impediments that confront them intensify to the point that they require additional strength to eliminate them, behold, their hearts will be bolstered with resolve, and they will rejoice in the opportunity to demonstrate the intensity of their faith. Just like the commander of an army, renowned for his might, who will always choose to wage the most fierce battle in order to demonstrate his prowess through his triumph. And the commentary says, this quintessential servant of Hashem is so preoccupied with Hashem's honor and so indifferent to his personal well-being that to him hardship is an opportunity to show how much he truly loves Hashem. And then he continues, additional commentary. Surely even this person of, quote, true knowledge recognizes and always declares that whatever Hashem does is for the good. This is a basic element of faith that was famously emphasized by such great sages as Nachum Ish Gamzu, who, when beset with troubles, would say Gam Zu L'Tova. This too is for the good. That's in Tanis 21a. And Rabbi Akiva, who in such situation would say Kol Da'avid Rachmana L'Tav Avid, which means whatever the merciful one does, that's meaning Hashem, he does for the good. That's also from Brachos 60a. However, for the person of, quote, true knowledge, living with this truth is merely a part of his service of Hashem and not a tool necessary to maintain his love of Hashem. That's from Rav Cheskel Charna and Iyunim. So here the person what they're saying is the person of true knowledge, this is part of his service. There's no question, of that. Okay, and he continues, this phenomenon is indeed commonplace with everyone who loves a flesh and blood human being, who will rejoice when he has an opportunity through which he can show his beloved the extent of his intense love. Therefore, this manifestation of love, the determination to persevere in the face of hardship and obstacles, can only be expected from one who genuinely loves Hashem. So that's what this person of true knowledge is. He perseveres to still love Him no matter what quote unquote gets thrown at him, you'd say. And the commentary says, as Ramchal has stressed in this chapter, in chapter 18 at note 12, so you have to go back there, love of Hashem is just as real as any other type of love. Okay, and finishing up here, having defined the essence of love, Ramchal now expands upon its three offshoots. So I'm just going to read, I guess I'm going to stop here because then it's going to go into the next section with his dveika. So I'll just stop here and continue next time. And I hope and pray that we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beit HaMikdash. Amen, and thanks for watching.